Great. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining me today for this week's episode. I am the Garden Goddess, and this is Planting Seeds. And this week, I wanted to discuss something very common and something that we all go through in our day-to-day lives, and that is overcoming obstacles and overcoming challenges. And so, for this week's topic, which is really becoming the warrior of your own life, I feel like there was no other herb that we could better introduce into the collective other than cedar. And so for today, I really wanted to discuss this herb because cedar, with its divine presence and essence and magic, it provides us with the knowledge and understanding that anything is possible. And as long as we have breath, we have options. Words ahead healer. And so let's first delve into the history of cedar, and then we'll go into the magic and my relationship with cedar and how you can use it. And so first, let's give thanks. Shout out to Caesar, shout out to Cedar for always being there for the collective, for always providing another way out, for always providing options. Now, the history of cedar goes back into its Latin origins, which means cedar tree. And so it has cousins such as ash tree, pine tree, oak tree. But unlike its cousins, its roots actually delve much deeper into history and into the history of the collective. Now, it has a similar scent to evergreens, where in that it has a distinct spiciness, a distinct warmth to its scent, and has always symbolized resiliency, strength, and longevity. So, of course, somebody's going to use it to represent themselves or their country, and that was Lebanon. So, cedar is actually the national emblem of Lebanon, and it's needed to cover the country's mountains. And so it has origins in Lebanon, but it also originated from the West Himalayas as well as the Mediterranean Sea area. But not only that, not only does its history spread beyond the sea and beyond different countries, but it also has biblical ties in that this tree was used to build King Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. And so we often hear about cedar in its uses through burning it as an incense. I, for one, use cedar as an incense almost daily. I go back and forth between utilizing Palo Santo, but I also use cedar quite often. But not only is cedar used in the fact that you can be used as an incense, but cedar has a utilitarian usage in that because of its ability to not garner mold and deteriorate like other woods. And it also has an ability to be resistant to certain weather, such as like rain or snow. We can utilize cedar in building furnitures, whether it's your bed, whether it's your couches, whether it's your chair. Cedar has this ability to just be so resilient to its environment that it has this strength to withstand. And that's something that we can learn from this herb is the ability to be resilient in time of trouble, in time of despair, or in times of great stress and challenge. And so, although we can utilize it through whether it's resins or in the wood fashion, or its leaves, or just building our lives with it, we're reminded that strength comes from within. Cedar, its branches, unlike any other tree, the branches are developed from the trunk of the tree rather than almost like the stem of the tree. I like to think of it like the stem of the tree or the leg. And it tells us just with its way of developing and way of growing and developing into this strong, well-renowned tree, that your strength doesn't have to come from how big you are. It doesn't have to come from how tall you are. It doesn't have to come from, how much the world sees you. It comes from within. It comes from this unspoken, unseen place within ourselves. And some may call it the God spot. It comes from a place of knowing that you were not born to fail, that you were not born to suffer, but that you were here because the universe felt like something was missing, and that something was you. And you have your own unique, energetic, and physical footprint in this world, and it's needed. And so I love cedar for that reason alone, not even for the aspects of magic that you can use it in, but the fact that just having it just as is without even knowing the spiritual history of cedar, just by it being who it is, it reminds us to be who we are in every present moment. And so my first discovery of cedar was maybe a few years ago. I was at a metaphysical shop and I was looking for different incense because I didn't want to use up the most popular ones, which is Palo Santo and white sage. Eventually, you can kill off these herbs if you're not careful. So I felt like it was a good time to diversify um, my itinerary, my toolbox of herbs that I use as incense. And so I discovered cedar in that process. And upon smelling it, it was extraordinarily activating. Cedar has a very sweet yet strong scent to it, and you cannot deny its presence once you feel it. And so through me working with cedar, I realized that upon burning it, it invites spirits, strong spirits along your ancestral bloodline. It invokes strength. It invokes courage to face obstacles head on, despite if fear is within you in that moment. It's honestly like a shot of the fireball alcohol. Did anyone ever try that? I have bad memories with Fireball. The cinnamon taste still scars me to this day, but it's basically like a shot of Fireball. It's very warm and it's very exhilarating and it's very activating to your senses. And it's very much so like, girl, get up energy. Get up, dust yourself off. It's giving very much so Aries. And so this is a very strengthening herb that you can utilize in your magic when it comes to dealing with enemies, garnering victory, overcoming challenges, developing courage, developing resilience, any magic, confidence boosting, any magic that invokes opening up your solar plexus and also deepening your roots into who you are, which is your root chakra, your first chakra. Anything involving courage, confidence, and just being bold and strong in who you are, cedar can help you with that. And so, other ways you can utilize cedar in your work is by, and I have a list, is by overcoming challenges, embracing courage, reclaiming your power, any sort of roles within leadership, coming back into our bodies with self acceptance, with self assurance. It's also a great herb for clearing out pathways and blockages. It's also a confidence booster. It's a great herb for understanding your gifts and talents. It's also a great herb for you to spray on yourself for owning the room. So you can utilize cedar in its incense form, which is usually the leaves dried out. You can also use cedar within its essential oil form. I love both ways. And if you're privileged enough to have cedar grow in your neighborhood or wherever you live, it's a great herb to incorporate in your day-to-day practice. It smells wonderful, right? And more than anything else, cedar tells us that no guts, no glory. That in order to really change your life and to have, a purposeful life, you got to have guts. It takes work. It takes effort. It takes courage. It takes discipline. It takes consistency. And cedar is the perfect teacher for that. And so, no matter how you utilize cedar, use it. incorporate it into your practice, especially if you're someone that is trying to get out of the matrix way of living and thinking. This is a very stimulating and activating herb for all of those, all of the above. And so I love cedar in this time of my life, in this season of my life. And I highly encourage a lot of you, if not all of you, to at least smell it so you know what I'm talking about and learn from it in any way that you can, whether it's meditating with its photo in front of you, or whether you utilize it within your work, or if you utilize it within your home, whether you're building, you know, a chair, or if you're someone that likes making jewelry boxes. This is a wonderful herb to have in your home with your family. And then it's extraordinarily a protective herb. And so great for protection magic as well. And so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know how you experience cedar if you tried it before. And if you haven't, when you do, leave a comment and let me know how it worked for you. And so I love you all, and I hope to see you all in my next video. And I will talk to you all very soon. All right. Bye now.